I start by commending my right honourable friend, Member for Spelthorne, for bringing this really important debate here today. Nikki Speed was referenced earlier in this debate, and I know she's in the audience. She's actually one of my constituents, and I will use the word that the honourable member from Hammersmith used earlier, which was, thank you for educating me. As someone that's not been blessed with children, I was not aware of SUDC until the run-up to this debate. And actually, it's actually a really important point about what today is about. It's about educating more people about this. I know that there are various things that I will come on to a bit later, but I do hope the Minister will take away three important aspects, one of which is education, the second is about research, and the third is about more public information. And in my eyes, a quick win would be updating the NHS website with details about SUDC. Of course I will.
I've also been very moved by the many constituents who've written to me on this issue. He's mentioned 3 points. They're all very, very important. But would you agree that perhaps the key one is the research, which focuses on causation? Because although we'll be able to see some common factors, unless we understand the causation, then no information that we give will be helpful.
Mr. Speaker, unsurprisingly, my honourable friend makes an excellent point. I will be covering that in a short while. Statistics from the NOMIS mortality statistics has indicated about 128 children between 1 and 19 died between 2013 and 2021. That is 128 families and friends that have been devastated by the sudden death. In Hertfordshire, we've had, unfortunately, 6 between 2017 and 2022, all reported in 2020. Now, I know Nikki has put her own journey and own story on her website, and I would direct people to visit the SUDC UK website. But her journey and the trauma she went through back in 2013 when she lost her second child, Rosie, when we were reading and researching for this debate in my office, all of us were emotionally moved. Because we could all relate to a potential loved one that this could have happened to. It wasn't that long ago, back in December actually, I referenced the fact that I've got another new niece. And the joy I felt describing her in the chamber, this other side to the coin would be the emotional shock of having to talk about the distress of potentially losing someone at a young age. What was made worse with Rosie's story was that it was the run-up to Christmas. And I know there was a reference earlier about, unfortunately, another family losing their child on Boxing Day. What is typically meant to be a joyous time in the year for families and friends will forever, unfortunately, for those families, be a real sore spot of emotional trauma that, because of the unknowns, means there's not really been much in the way of closure. We spoke about research, and I know that hopefully the Minister, who's a very good Minister, will take it away that actually more research needs to be done. And yes, while government has levers to help influence that, I would urge academia to do more as well. It shouldn't always require government steer to actually do the right thing. We spoke about the success of the SIDS, Sudden Infant Death Syndrome, and how, off the back of 13,000 research papers, we've had an 80% decline in SIDSs. To date, in accordance to my research, we've only had 55 research papers on SUDC, so there's a huge gap between what can potentially be hopefully rectified. It was the first time ever, actually, back in December 22, that the National Child Mortality Database has reported these type of data. I hope that we will continue to report in more detail, because what I've heard from other speeches, and my honourable friend from Spelthorne articulated amazingly well, that actually the lack of knowledge is the main barrier for actually finding a long-term solution to this. I will leave it at that, because I know there will be other excellent speeches, I'm sure, forthcoming, but just to echo the right honourable member for Spelthorne, I do believe this is the start of the journey of educating more people in this place and hopefully up and down the country. Thank you.